top 5 players who deserve big January window transfers are in the discussion right now. The window is approaching, and several players have outgrown their current clubs. Some are hidden gems, just sitting and warming the benches. Others are stars in the waiting, looking for opportunities to show. So let's take it from you, Paulo here. Which players do you think deserve a move to bigger stage in winter? Just mention 5 of them and tell us why.
Huh? Wow.
Let's look around Europe and
what I would just say is, in the world of football, you don't project for winter transfer. You project for summer. No middle team mostly, except for contractual being tight-fisted. They don't want to lose their key player in January. It's a winter transfer window and it's not visible.
But there are some players that are unhappy about their position.
Yeah,
so can we just mention some of them?
Either they are happy or not, you have to just stick to where you are.
Yes, we're saying, can we think of any of these players?
No, there are a lot you can talk about. There are Semenyo, there are goalkeepers like the goalkeeper for Aston Villa, Martinez. There are guys like that are long overdue. But the thing is, this would have come in mouth-watering for a summer transfer window.
Okay, Paulo, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I actually have a player in mind. It's not about moving to a bigger club now. It's about leaving to save his career. And it's the player from Brazil, the guy at Real Madrid, Hendrick. Because I think he needs to leave Real Madrid. Probably try, going out on loan or probably move permanently, because I think Real Madrid is bigger than,
but Hendrick has not outgrown Madrid. So that's what the question is.
Well, I don't think there are players that can.
No, the question is not about the player outgrowing the club. It is about the player outgrowing his position, where he's sitting down. Where either he's sitting down or where he's playing.
Hendrick fits the bill.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that. And if you ask me, Araujo at Barcelona too should be looking at a club. You can't be making that guy a third fiddle when he believes he can be playing. He should be looking at a club.
But he just renewed this contract.
Yeah. For Araujo is you can't compare Araujo to Hendrick. Hendrick is still very, very young, and he needs to prove himself at the world stage, because looking at it now, he's not getting call-ups to the national team anymore because he's not playing. So he needs to move, because the hype around him has really, really died down.
How about Eni Martinez?
Eni Martinez, maybe also. Probably the giant transfer window, they could move to try another club and see if they can, get themselves back. We saw that with Antonio last season, when he left Manchester United.
And then what he was in Betis. And then he just blew up and started contesting for GOAT.
And
they called him GOAT all over Europe. Everybody called him GOAT. Oh my God. Right, so guys, so there are quite a number of players in that pool actually looking at such opportunity to get out. So which club should be the first to make a move? Arsenal, Liverpool, maybe PSG. All of them should be looking at the transfer window as well, looking for who to put, like Barca, just like you recommended. Barca should be looking at picking up somebody for that defense position. And Barcelona is actually looking at taking what's his name, Julian Alvarez, by the end of the season. So they could fine-tune or seal that contract if Atletico will allow them.
They won't find it easy.
Because Barca need a replacement for Lewandowski.
Cheap, and Barca is still tight-fisted with the one ratio, wage balance. So it came into Atletico for 95 million. And that was the challenge why they couldn't get Nico Williams. So I don't see that's like having a dream that they know that it might not become a reality.
But they might get him. We know how Barcelona have been going with their transfer of paying instrumentally. We know how they did the deal with Griezmann.
But what about Nico Williams? 60 million. Now talking about, it was not as if Alvarez is not happy at Atletico, and he came in for 95 million. So even Atletico will want to cash in on him and make profit.
Definitely,
so
they want
it will
to,
be expanding
yeah.
over 100 million. Now, can and a player coming for over 100 million will not be on a small wage. So let's realistically check it. It's like Barca trying to.
No, but Barca is weighing up options of picking up Alvarez to replace Lewandowski in the coming season. And you know how this works. They always have a way to arrange some of these things. They can work on the finances. We've seen Griezmann go that way. We've seen Coutinho. We've seen Neymar for several years.
Griezmann,
they didn't
those
pay.
ones did not come when the
No, but they didn't pay in full for any of these players.
No, they don't pay. No club. No, I've not. It's only the Saudis I see paying full. Even without paying in full, they couldn't get Nico Williams.
No. For Nico Williams, it wasn't 60 million that was the issue. Barca is saying that the player refused to come because the player was ill-advised about his registration. So the player backed down from that transaction, and Barca did not even place that bid.
No, but the player was asking for proof, like let it be in the contract spelled out that if you cannot register me so and so, and you can't blame a guy for wanting a black and white agreement. We've seen players run into issues with club. You saw Hurricane, we had a gentleman agreement. We had a gentleman agreement. Yeah. Even this guy, Ademola Lookman, we had a gentleman agreement. So you don't expect a youngster at the beginning of his career to rely on just mere words of Barcelona and not proper written agreement and sign.
No, but that's not what happened. That's not why the transfer fell through. The transfer fell through because, according to sources around Nico, his family didn't approve that transaction. The assurances he wanted were provided. It wasn't an issue. Every player that came into Barca rank were all registered. It wasn't an issue.
I think there's more to that.
It was
they
more.
Had to. That was why they had to let Martinez go, to let in the remaining guys.
Martinez, let me just bring this to light. Martinez got that contract as a matter of urgency. It was an emergency opening for him. Somebody spoke for him out there, and within 1 week that was completed.
Do you know that they had to make Ter Stegen submit a letter to La Liga for a player to also be registered? It was a
no. Let's get this right, because I like to put facts out there. Ter Stegen was injured and was going for a surgery. His surgery was going to sideline him for up to 6 months or more than that. He wasn't going to play. Barca had already procured Joan Garcia from the neighboring Espanyol, and that was their future goalkeeper. Ter Stegen was not in the plan of Hansi Flick because they retained Chesney as a backup. Ter Stegen as the captain could not be the backup. So Ter Stegen was not in the plan, and his injury was recurring over and over. They had to put in a surgery, and the surgery was going to sideline him for at least 6 to 8 months. So why won't he sign that the surgery will take him out for 6 to 8 months?
If Barcelona was in an LD place, will they need him to sign?
Yes, they will need him to sign because he was the captain of the side, and he was occupying a position where they could not register another player based on the one fair play and new rules that only exist in Spain. They don't exist in any other place. It wasn't like the money to pay salary was. You can't have this wage of this player and those players at the same time. You cannot have those wages. That was the issue. So Ter Stegen's wages had to be dropped by at least 70% to accommodate other wages. And if he's not going to play for the next 6 months, why put him on a high wage and blocking the space? So that's what happened with Ter Stegen. This is not trying to defend a situation, but that's the fact that happened. And for Nico Williams, it was a family thing, and the family did not just agree. They decided that Bilbao was their family place. His brother was there. Everybody was born in Bilbao. He should just stay with them. And last minute, he just went out of the deal. So it wasn't like they couldn't pay. They will arrange and pay. They've been paying. How did they get Lewandowski and the rest of them? How did they get Rafinha? When they let Messi go because they didn't have money, they bought 6 new players that same season. But it was an arrangement. You just make an arrangement.